Hi, my name is Janine Knight, and I am the Virtual Content Specialist for grades K through 2 students with disabilities in science. Today's presentation is part 2 for grade 1, unit 4, day 123, Sun, Moon, and Stars. Focus question for this unit: how do the sun, the moon, and stars appear to change position in the sky? This lesson is focusing on why the moon's appearance changes. The students have been exposed to different patterns in the sky. Now we are studying the moon. A station rotation setup uses small groups for the purpose of teacher-led instruction, online learning, collaborative activities, and offline learning. To accurately reflect the station rotation model, in our era of social distancing, students who are in person are grouped in squares so that all peers are appropriately social distanced apart and can easily turn to each other to talk. Students at home should be grouped together to easily shift into asynchronous instruction as the teacher decides how the learners will divide their time among stations. The entrance ticket will enable the teacher to appropriately place students in groups. The entrance ticket was made in Google Forms. This entrance ticket will assess prior knowledge for the students on the moon's phases. Before moving into stations, as a whole group, the teacher will model and introduce what the students will learn. Here we have a video, Why Does the Moon Change?
If you ever look up at the moon in the night sky, say before you go to bed, you've probably noticed that as the days and weeks go by, the moon looks like it's changing shape. Some nights, it's a little sliver, and some nights, a few weeks later, it's a big bright circle. Well, the moon doesn't actually change shape, but our view of it does. Why? Well, the moon, just like the Earth, has a day side and a night side. A part that's facing the sun and a part that's not. So when we see a little sliver of bright moon, we're seeing a little part of the moon that's facing the sun, while the rest of the side that's facing us is dark. And the size and the shape of that sliver of lit up moon changes because the moon orbits or moves around Earth.
So I would pause at this point to elicit responses from the students. I do have the closed caption on, which is just click of the button that's right here at the bottom bar on every YouTube video. Put myself into edit mode to model for the students why does our view of the moon change. So I'll elicit responses from the students, and I will also highlight that it's a why question, so we should have a because in the answer. Our view of the moon changes because as the moon orbits around Earth, the size and shape of the moon changes. After eliciting those responses from the students, I will put together a complete sentence using because to show them how to answer a why question in a complete sentence, and then continue to play the video. And that is the introduction. How many stations you have depends on the topic, the content, and your students. For this lesson, I felt it necessary to only have 3 stations. That plan has then been recreated in a child-friendly student flow visual that the students will use interactively in order to get in and out of each station. The data used is anecdotes from previous lessons, as the students have been already exposed to patterns in the sky, as well as the entrance tickets. So for the first group to be in the teacher-led station is the yellow group. The yellow group is the group based on all of the data that needs the most support in getting through this process. Then there's the green group and the blue group, all strategically created by the teacher based on data. So if I'm in the yellow group, I'm going to start in the teacher-led station, move to the online station. Then I'm going to move back to the offline station. Then I will direct the yellow group to finish back in another teacher-led station at the end for additional support. While the green group will go to the online station first, move to the teacher-led station, and then to the offline station. The blue group will go to an online station first, then the offline station, then to the teacher-led station. I'm going to pretend I'm in the yellow group and I'm going to start in the teacher-led station. So click my picture to begin, and I'm brought to the teacher-led station. This will be led by me. It has an anchor chart. The objective, I can reflect on and analyze my learning of moon phases. I'm going to prepare, prime, and assess the students' readiness and provide any remediation the students may need and support the students may need to give them access to the content in the next 2 stations. Click the home button to get back to the student flow visual, the home base. So after I'm done in the teacher-led station, I will be ready to be able to handle the online station. And I'm brought to the collaboration station. This online station is set up as a collaboration learning station using peers as partners. This station can be hosted in a mixed at-home and in-person small group. It may also be an in-person group of 4 students in their square and an only at-home group holding a virtual meeting. When only one group is in this station at once, ideally one in-person or one virtual, the teacher can check for understanding by taking a brief pause from their teacher-led station. Equally important, students build relationships, confidence, and trust by learning to rely on each other in group work. When they're done, they can click the home button. After they're done in the online station, they're going to move to the offline station. Now, in both the online and offline station, considering the teacher is not present in those stations, the teacher will create a video tutorial of how to complete the work they need to complete in this station. That video tutorial will be available in edit mode. Basically, this is a no-tech station for independent practice. An offline station is critical to avoid screen fatigue in a virtually demanding environment. Materials such as books, notebooks, manipulatives, and other resources should be distributed at once to the students to keep for the duration of the marking period or semester. Students may be journaling in a marble composition notebook, reading a book, or creating a graphic organizer to self-check their knowledge of the content. Ideally, the independent practice may serve as a time to engage in routine, written reflection. In this case, the reflection is going to be online. It's going to be in a Flipgrid so that the students have the opportunity, all of the students have the opportunity to comment and give feedback if time permits. Before transitioning into the next station, end the station by inviting all students, whether in school or at home, to stand up tall, stretch their arms out, and circle them forward and then backward while walking in place. After 30 to 60 seconds, students sit back down to begin their next station. So they're going to begin each station with think time. So now they've completed all the stations. They're going to have one final opportunity to have think time. Then they're going to have about 10 minutes to all organize their thoughts, go back to a station they may want to finish, and then finally, on the last day, as a whole group, all students will complete the check for understanding at the same time in the last few minutes of class. Once that is completed, they are done with this lesson. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. See you soon.